What's going on, guys? Today's video is going to be all about the bluegill. One of my favorite fish ever. Not the number one, but caught a lot of them in my life. They're the fish that is probably single-handedly the most responsible for me being into fishing. When I was a kid, that'd be the number one thing I'd go for all the time. This video today, I'm going to show you a few things. I'm going to show you how I fish for them, like my setups and rods and rigging and stuff. I'm going to kind of explain where I'm looking for them, and at least kind of how I try to avoid getting a ton of small ones. So anyway, stick around, stay tuned, we'll get to it. Okay, so this is not the rod and reel I'm using in the video, but this little rod here is perfect for bluegill. It's a little bit shorter than I like. It's a 4'6". This is really for dock fishing and fishing in tight quarters, but it'll work for bluegill. I really like more of a 5.5, 6 foot rod for that. I don't like to go too long. You know, if I get my 10 footers out, I may catch a few, but a lot of the time that's just too hard of a hook set for them. It's ripping the hooks out of the mouth. But I've just got this 4 foot. It's not no brand I've ever heard of, just a cheap little, I got this at my local bait store. It was like $12, I think. And as far as the reel goes, line's a little tangled here. As far as the reel goes, this is a Mitchell Avo slab reel. You can see it's really beat up. Came on an old combo I got a long time ago, and the rod is long since broken. But these reels live on, and I use them on all kinds of stuff. But it's just a little bitty ultralight rod. Have this loaded up with 4-pound reaction tackle mono. And then once we come out here, I'll show you how I do it. So first, I get a slip bobber out. I don't like the clip-on bobbers. I've said it before. Don't like them, not gonna keep using them. I only use them if I don't use them. So you just take your slip bobber, run that through like this. Okay, so that's on there. Some of you might be saying, oh, you didn't put a stopper on there. I'll get to that, hang on. And we take our hook. This is I'll either use an octopus hook like this, or sometimes I'll use like an Aberdeen hook. But what you do, see how that hook's got that curved offset eyelet? You got to tie that up in a snell knot, and the way I do it is I run the line straight through like that. I'll get a good amount. Through, pinch it off with my finger right there like that, and have a loop hanging off the back. So what I'll do is I'll take this loop while pinching it and go around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I messed up. If that happens, just kind of try to get your finger in there, because this loop will twist up and you don't want the twist. 7, 8 or 9 times is what I like to do. And then I'll hold this loop open with my fingers like that and reach through and grab this other side, while with my other hand I'm holding all those loops around the hook shank. Pull that through, get it wet, and then that'll slide on up like that. Trim your excess, and there you've got a snell knot. And what that does is when you go to set the hook, when you put pressure on that, it kind of pulls it like that, and it gives you a better hook set. So these right here are my bobber stops. These are just cheap little hair tie rubber bands. See, $2 for 1,000. That beats the real bobber stops. Plus, I think these work a little bit better. They're easier to put on. They're cheaper. They go through the line guides easier. And all I'll do is I'll take this rubber band, stretch it like that. Okay, pull the line like this, and grab this inside piece here, pull it through like that. So it's basically just a lark's heading that on. And so now the last thing you need to do put a couple of split shot. I like to go about 6 inches or so above the hook. We'll put a couple split shot on here. Okay, so now when we throw this lure out, or put our worm on this hook and throw it out, it's gonna hit the water, and this is gonna sink. The line's gonna sink under the bobber until the bobber hits that stop. And so then our bait's gonna be sitting, I don't know, if we were to fish it like this, that's probably 2 or 3 feet down. I think when we were fishing for bluegill, we were only sitting about like this. But the reason I like the slip bobber over the clip-on bobbers is, well, you can fish a wider variety of depths. They're easier to cast, and I've had those clip-on bobbers, I've had a big fish break the line right where the bobber clips were. So ever since then I stay away from clip-on bobbers and only use slip bobbers, and man, I haven't missed them. I love the slip bobbers. So let's go show you some fish. They're a lot more active today. Good job.
Oh, it's a little guy. You can be free, little belly. Oh well, I had my fun with it. It was sitting in my grandpa's fucking gun room. I was like, I'm using it. Dude, let's go, Ryan.
Did you see that?
Yeah, dude. He just took off with it. If it would have pulled drag, I would have thought it was a catfish.
It was a little guy.
Yeah, but he took your bobber for a ride.
You see my line go from 0 to...
Dude, I'm glad we came out here.
Oh.
Okay.
As soon as I turn the camera off.
Hey, don't worry, mine's always rolling. Like I said, I'm going.
Go. Throw that one in your basket.
I'm going until we run out.
That's a fatty, dude. You need like...
He's pissing too.
You need that. They pretty much will do that. You need like 6 or 8 of those.
Ow.
Yeah, me almost falling down is common in here, but...
Dude, let's go! He feels alright. Oh, man! He's barely hooked. I don't even have the barb engaged.
Yep, I've had that happen before. Okay, good. My camera's off. Trying to stay.
Oh, I hate when they do that shit. No. Chill, chill, chill. Dude, they engage fins and it hurts. Ow.
Yep. Ooh, he's pulling. There we go. There we go. Another fatty bluegill.
Dude, he is thick.
Big old thick bluegill. And we're just, like I said, you just gotta find the right spot where the big ones are hanging out, and then you can just get big ones. If you're catching nothing but tiny ones, go somewhere else because you're not in the good spot. Okay, so I want to elaborate on that a little bit. Bluegills tend to group up by size. This is kind of a general rule, not always 100% the case, but they tend to group up by size. So if you get into a bunch of small ones, you're just going to keep catching small ones. And if you get into a bunch of big ones, you're likely to keep catching big ones with a few small ones mixed in. So I want to pull up this picture here. What's going on, this is more or less kind of like a quick diagram I threw together of this spot we're fishing. So basically, I don't know, it's not the scale, but we're about 20-30 feet from the bank. And right where the bank is, out to about halfway between the bank and the boat, it's a big flat kind of rocky area, and it's about, depending on where you're at, 3 to 6 feet deep. And there's a little ledge where it drops off down to, 10 to 12 to 15 feet deep. And then it goes out to the main channel in the middle of the lake where it's like 20 feet deep. But anyway, all these big bluegills, all the nice ones, they're posted up between the edge of that little drop and further on back, and they're making nests in the same kind of area as the small one, but it's just like the deeper side of it. So if we were casting, you know, closer to the bank, too close to the bank, we'd be getting more small ones. If the deeper water we can get in is where most of the bigger ones are. So just keep that in mind when you're out fishing. There's also an issue that a lot of ponds have where the bluegills are just overpopulated and stunted. And when they get overpopulated, if there's not enough predators, not enough people eating them, there's, you know, it gets to the point where there's so many of them that there's not enough food to support them all and they get stunted. So if you're in a lake like that, your best bet's probably to fish for something else or go to a different lake. So luckily here in this lake, the bluegills are not stunted. We don't really see any super giants, but you know, these eaters like we're getting 8-9 inches, they're pretty much the norm. So keep that in mind when you're out fishing and keep your lines tight. On again, we're on a fish again.
Dude, he's fighting.
It's a good one. But yeah, all you gotta do, figure out where the big ones are hanging. They'll hang out in shallow water around structure, typically with a flat bottom, and make their nest. Figure out where they're hanging out, where the big ones are, and you can usually load up on them almost every time. Get it on camera, but we got another fatty ding dong here. It's probably the biggest one of the night right there for a bluegill. All right, so I'm gonna be frying a couple of these bluegill whole today, showing you guys how to do that. I did scale them off camera outside. Reason I did that is because it's been raining and I was kind of scared of getting the camera wet. Didn't want to scale them inside because it's messy. So anyway, we're going to be frying these whole today. Got some rice going, so we're going to eat it with that. It's going to be good, so let me show you how to do it. Gonna need, again, solid quality fillet knife. This is a Cutco one. They're not cheap, but they work really well and they last for years. I use the spoon to scale it, but we won't really need it for cleaning them whole. So all you got to do to get a whole clean one ready to eat, I'm gonna cut the head off. And we do that, just go like that, come around the other side, same deal. Go through the spine, and then we'll come up through the butthole, like that. Get everything out of there. Okay. And we'll take that. Throw it in there. And once you get to that point, just give the inside a good rinse. I like to try to get that little stuff out of there, but that's like what's left of the swim bladder. And man, if you're doing whole, that's it, just like Grandpa used to do it. Alright, so to get these guys ready to fry, got cornstarch, some breadcrumbs, these are panko, you can use any kind, doesn't matter, lemon pepper, garlic powder, seasoned salt. So we're going to get our dry batter here. Now this is not an exact science, I'm just kind of throwing something together here. So anyway, we'll throw some breadcrumbs in there. A little bit of cornstarch. We want to season it good. We'll throw some seasoned salt in there. A little garlic powder. Lemon pepper. Alright. So now we'll give that a good mix. Then in our other bowl, I think most people will use yellow mustard, but I don't have any, so I'm using this. It'll be fine. Need a little bit of mustard, a little bit of hot sauce. Give them a good little mix. Maybe add just a touch of water to get it a little runnier. Perfect, about like that. So now what we're gonna do, get our fish, put them on the plate. They're a little wet. Need to get them a little drier than that. Get them dried off here. Double check, make sure you got all the scales off. I'm gonna get these in the mustard hot sauce mixture, like that. This is gonna help our batter stick. Getting my fingers in it, it's alright. I'm the one eating it. If you want to do it not like a Neanderthal, I would say use like one of those little cooking paint brushes or something, but we're just doing it caveman style today. Okay, so now we want to get this breading all over this thing. All inside, all over the outside. And that's looking good right there. Let's get this other one. Make sure it's all over. And just watch out. These things do have spiky fins. I've been catching them and dealing with them my whole life, so it's like nothing to me. I'm used to it, but watch out for these spiky fins. They got some sharp dorsal fins, so they will poke you. I've even had one break off into my skin and be like a splinter, so watch out for them. Hot, I'm gonna put a little oil in the bottom of it. About like that. Maybe, I don't know. It's probably 1/8 inch deep across the bottom of it. We'll let that oil heat up a little bit. Alright, our oil's looking, yep, it's hot. That is not the correct way to check if your oil's hot, by the way, but it's hot. I'm going to go ahead and carefully lay our fillets in there. There's one. There's the other one. We'll let those cook for a minute and we'll go ahead and give them a flip. Here's why they call them panfish. Alright, it's been in there for a minute or two. Let's go for the flip. Alright, let's take a look here. Ooh, yeah. Alright, those are looking awfully good. Mmm. Try it. This came out really good. I was kind of Haven't eaten a fish like this since I was probably 10 years old at my grandpa's house. Actually, it came out really good. I was kind of going off memory as far as cleaning and how we used to cook them and make the batter and everything. And mine probably isn't an exact match, but it's close enough and it tastes pretty good. So if you like this content, want to see more like it, make sure you hit the like and subscribe bell. I am going to try to get out and hit some other waters soon. I actually have been hitting other waters, and that's that's why the videos have been kind of few and far between lately. I've just been getting skunked, and I knew I had to get something out, so kind of went for the low-hanging fruit on these bluegills. But thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. I'm going to get to eating. Have a good day.